William Ruto just back from The Hague. Time for money and power. What does it take to run one of the largest and most successful private healthcare companies in the East African region? Well, for starters, you take an accidental career path, no pun intended. Here's the story of Jaggi Kagunju, the Chief Executive Officer of AAR.
For a lawyer heading a health service providing company, Jaggi Kagunju's life is one full of interesting twists and turns, characteristic of one living for the moment. Jaggi owes his success to what he terms as the best inheritance his parents ever accorded him: education.
I look back now and I look at some of the people we went to primary school with who are much brighter than me, way brighter than me, but they became nobody. Because education becomes the opener of doors for many opportunities.
Born in Mukuruni in Nyeri to a Second World War veteran and a reverend, Jaggi describes his father as a very strict disciplinarian who sent him to school in the Rift Valley at an early age. This he is grateful for, as it helped shape his worldview. Jaggi attended Menengai, Tambach and Kapsabet high schools in the Rift Valley. He says this period of life taught him to take risks at an early age.
I remember we used to take risks because we did not have money. I was staying with my guardian, and when he was away, we would go to the Afraha Stadium, crawl on the stadium and check when the marshals and the askaris were not looking at us, and jump into the stadium. And a couple of times I got caught, and you get a couple of slaps. But those kind of risk-taking, I don't know how much they impacted me. I started saying I can take risks. And really my life has been about taking risks.
He joined the University of Nairobi for a bachelor's degree in law in 1971. However, his involvement in student politics saw him expelled from law school in his final year of study in 1974 after an altercation with the college administration, after it was alleged that Jaggi hanged the college principal Tudor Jackson's dog.
I got expelled from the School of Law. I was very radical in those particular days. But I did not. I may have kicked his dog, but I did not hang it. But Mr. Jackson said something which was very interesting. I had finished my law degree, and he says that he swears I will never become an advocate of the High Court of Kenya.
Jaggi then joined insurance company AIG as a marketer. AIG sent him to the UK under the Mobile Overseas Personnel Program, a position that would see him gather experience in over 16 countries. It was in 1992, while planning to return to Kenya, that a friend recommended him to a little-known air rescue company that was just setting up in the country.
And he said, there's a company here called AAR. It seems to have a good idea. And I think you can better come and look at it. It doesn't seem to be having a lot of money. And you come and look at it and see whether it's a job that would interest you, because it seems that they're missing a person. I had gone into marketing that time.
6 months later, Jaggi was promoted to commercial director and later charged with the responsibility of setting AAR Uganda and Tanzania, and eventually moving to head the Poland office before returning to head the East African operation. But Jaggi still had some unaccomplished dreams. He had 3 specific things he wanted to do.
I still wanted Tudor Jackson, wherever he was, to settle that score with Tudor Jackson.
Jaggi enrolled back in the School of Law and was admitted as an advocate of the High Court in March 2011, more than 30 years after leaving university. The other things were getting a motorcycle license and acting in the theatre.
When I was a student, I was doing part-time work. I was doing acting. I was a major actor in this country at one time. Of late, I have done a couple of plays in the Phoenix, but I still think that my real calling is acting.
In 2002, when the then AAR CEO was set to retire, Jaggi applied for the position but failed, as the board thought he was too general as a manager.
When I failed to do that, I was a bit hurt. Everybody has their own ego. Yes.
To 2 decades
yes.
for the company.
And the argument is that they kept on feeling that I'm too much of a generalist. And I kept on arguing that if you really need a company that is going to grow, you need a guy like me.
Yeah.
If you need a company that wants to stay on a status quo consolidation, I'm the wrong guy. But if it is growth, risk-taking, then I can take that.
This will be the turn of fortunes for the self-proclaimed risk-taker as he was appointed AAR CEO in 2004. AAR has a current turnover in the neighborhood of 5 billion Kenyan shillings, with Jaggi amongst the most significant individual shareholders. So I asked Jaggi, a divorcee and a father of 2 sons, if he has any regrets about how he has lived his life.
I've had a very, very good life. My ex-wife is a very good friend of mine because we had to look after the children together. And I guess that's the way life should be.
And his philosophy in life is,
one of the things I would say to everybody is great. Everybody has his own greatness. And it is not going to be defined by academic achievement.
Asante sana. Well, for someone who is 60 plus years, Jaggi Gakunju says, life, there is never too late in taking risks. For KTN's Money and Power, I'm Boni Tunya.
A pedometer is a device that counts one's steps by detecting motion in the hips. It is therefore a portable electromechanical device. On Tech Toys, we walk the healthy route today and see how the pedometer can aid your pursuit